I went on my first moose hunt in 1980. My father got drawn, and I was his sub-permittee, of course, and we didn't know what we were doing. Nobody did. It was the first regular year of a moose hunt in Maine, and we didn't know about calling or anything. That year they did it early, and it was a terrible hunt. It was 90 degrees, and we struggled around. We finally ended up shooting a spike horn bull on like Thursday. But anyways, we managed to get one. So that was kind of the start of my moose hunting. And then I started guiding moose hunters in 1992 and started my outfitting business. And that's where it got started for me. And at that time, quite frankly, the moose herd had grown pretty well, especially the areas of the state that had been logged over, lots of clear cuts, and the moose were thriving in that habitat. So, and it evolved over the years, you know, the way we hunted. We didn't call or anything because, quite frankly, that time of year back then, you didn't need to. All the moose were in those clear cuts, and that kind of gets me where I am today, still at it, and still liking it. Deer hunting's still my favorite, but moose hunting's probably my second favorite thing to do, especially in the first season when you call and interact with them. Basically, the second hunt is after most of the rut. There might be a few cows you can call, but it's a different hunt. But the first hunt's the exciting one when everything's getting revved up and the cows start talking and the bulls are wandering. And it's been over 30 years, been guiding moose hunters. So you get a lot of those experiences and you learn how they react to different calls, how they're reacting amongst themselves. You get to hear moose talking with each other, different bulls, cows. Classically, what I do, I almost call it similar to turkey hunts, like hunting a big turkey. I call it running and gunning. I start down a winter road or up through the woods, and like in the open woods where you can see a little better, but you're calling out to the cuts, buffer strips I call them. And I'll cow call, and I don't wait long. I'll just cow call, and then I'll listen, especially a particularly quiet morning. Move maybe 100 yards at the most, call again. I call just with a voice call. And I use a shoulder blade for racking the brush, and that's really in a megaphone, a birch bark megaphone. And I'll just repeat that process. And you sometimes the first time you call, you get an answer. Sometimes it's a bad day. It might be the 100th time you call. Whatever it is, you keep doing it, and most of the time you'll get some kind of action. And then you got to know how to deal with it. Like if a cow is with a bull, a lot of times if you try to cow call, that cow that's got the bull takes off and takes the bull with her. The yearlings, sometimes the 2-year-olds, they just have a funny, different grunt, a higher pitch. It's like a kind of like that. And they don't have really much of a grunt like that. Bull answers, you know. First thing you think is he's probably not with a cow, so you're trying to coax him in with a cow call. If he is with a cow and you don't know it, a lot of times they will bellow and make their own call, try to keep the bull there. Then you got to shift up your strategy. Then what I do is I try to challenge the bull like I'm gonna come in on his cow, and that'll fire him up. And I'll rack my shoulder blade in the brush and kind of challenge and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to it, and that's what makes a moose hunt so exciting, is you're interacting with the animals, and it's pretty exciting.